So we've revealed the album name, and now we're going to talk about how this track came to be. It all started with one single motif. In this video, Jen's going to talk you through how we exchanged ideas and how it then developed into the piece. And I'm going to demonstrate on the sax how we manipulated this cell and used it to direct the music and how it really drove the initial concept. The initial stages were very much a team effort.
When we knew that we wanted to create a brand new track for the album, we had a listening session in which we suggested various artists and tracks to each other and listened together so that we could see where our mutual interests lay, and actually there was an enormous amount of crossover.
Jen and I were able to agree on the style. Things crossed over in terms of what we would listen to, which is why you can hear so many different influences in the piece.
So it was names such as Steve Reich, Tim Garland, Pat Metheny, Chick Corea, Graham Fitkin, Mark Mellitz, all of these composers who are the usual suspects in my own listening library, but we realised we had this sort of mutual love for their music. And so we were trying to analyse what it was that we particularly wanted to say or explore in this new piece.
You know, we sat down, came up with kind of a rough plan of what we wanted, the structure, the direction. We were able to talk about, oh yes, okay, so in the middle we'd like it to do this, and then what if it changed key here? What if I use this? What if I use that? And that was a really important part of the process.
So we went to the music room. I was on the piano, Emma was on the soprano saxophone, and we were improvising, trying to come up with this particular motif or cell that would be the basis of the piece. And I hit upon something, and we both lit up, and I think we realised it was something we could both spark off. So that was the initial opening statement of the piece, and then she had a suggestion that the first time we hear it, we knock off the last note to leave it hanging in midair, a bit of suspense. And I think that works really well because this motif is in the Dorian mode. So we've got the darkness of the minor third, but the sort of relative brightness of that sixth. And we end up hanging on the sixth. We've got the dark and the light in that first opening statement. And although that was quite accidental, I think it's something that we were both quite drawn to, and so we developed that over the first opening section into various guises, such as... So we open it out, we expand the range higher, and we fill out the rest of the scale using notes that we haven't had before. So in the initial motif, we haven't had the second or the fifth. We have them here, but just as passing notes. And Emma goes up to what would be a G on the soprano saxophone, so we're going into the altissimo already near the beginning of the piece. And then she suggested that we could go even higher to the A flat, so the B flat for her, quite high altissimo soprano. So it's quite a bold statement to be popping out these high notes, but because she can do that with ease and they just come out really beautifully and really easily, that's a great compositional tool for me to be able to utilise.
We wanted to make that impact.
And then the final statement of this first section of the piece, before we turn a corner into slightly new territory, is we put a bit of bounce in it too in the end track. So this little phrase, this little cell, is used throughout the whole piece in various different ways and developed in different ways and different keys.
To really show off the saxophone and how I can push its limits. It's always bubbling underneath the surface the whole way through. It's really an important part in how this piece came to be.
The album is called Unlocked, the piece is called Unlocked, but I think to Emma and myself, the word unlocked will probably always conjure up that moment in the music room where we came up with this cell. And that to us will be unlocked.
Bye.